Hey leaders, broadcasting this week from my living room, the exact place where we have our group discussion every Wednesday night. And this week I want to talk about initiating new group members and inviting people to make meaningful connections and to build trust with people in your group. And so it starts with right when they walk through the door. So when somebody new shows up, I like to go right up to them. I look them in the eye, I have a smile on my face, I shake their hands, and I say, "Welcome, glad you're here, thanks for coming." And if they have kids, I start to introduce the kids to other kids in our group, and from there, I make sure I know the names of the people that showed up, the spelling and just the pronunciation and all those things, so they know that, hey, I'm glad you're here, and I want to know you in all the details I can. So welcome, come on in. So from there, what I like to do is to start to introduce them to other people in the group. So at that point, there might be 3 or 4 of us just in a circle talking, and I'll make some of those introductions. And then I might step away and just let some of that conversation just continue to happen naturally. And then from there, as the opportunity arises, I will let them know, we're going to have a meal right now. In about an hour or so, we're going to gather for some discussion around the passage that was preached on Sunday. So go ahead and eat wherever you want. Don't worry if you make a mess or spill. We're all just here to enjoy one another's company. So I make it really light and informal, but also welcome them just to start diving into the life of the group. And from there, I hope that group members start to connect with them, start to get to know their story, and just have some of that interaction and start to build some of that trust. So from there, as we get into discussion, we'll go through our normal announcements. We will talk about our outreach because we talk about outreach every week in our group. And that's another opportunity for me to talk about this is why we do this. So I can orient the new group members around why we do outreach every week. And that also helps the whole group to be reminded of this is why we do this. From there, I'll talk about why we do group discussion and talk about how it's going to flow, what we're hoping for, what we'll be doing in the midst of the discussion just to help one another to celebrate Christ. But before we jump in, I like to do a little initiation ritual with new group members. And I'll play it up. I'll try to make it funny and kind of build some tension so they wonder what's going to happen. But really all it is I invite the new group members to share one thing about themselves that's interesting or noteworthy, something they consider important that they would like us to know. And so that's open-ended, and it allows them to share something that they desire to share. And then from there, I'll open up to the whole group to ask them a couple questions in response to that, or just generally what we'd like to know about them. That lets us know what we want to know. And again, that's another step in building some of those bonds of trust whereby we can care for one another, and we can know one another, and we can disciple one another. And so believe it or not, all the people I've done that with in our new group that started back in November, they haven't left yet. And so it kind of works. It's not an icebreaker, but it's just another little opportunity to build trust and get to know somebody. So we'll go through discussion, and I hope they contribute. I hope they feel welcome to contribute to the discussion. And after discussion ends, I will go to them, and I'll say, thanks for coming. Really glad you came. Thanks for contributing to discussion. That was really helpful just in terms of us celebrating Christ together, so we really appreciate that. From there, I'll make sure that I get them on our communication platform. For us, it's Facebook. You might use Slack or something else. So make sure that they get on that communication platform. Get their phone number. That's, in our time, day and age, that's a huge way of saying, I want to have a relationship with you. I might text message you. So get their phone number. Update them on the weeks ahead if you're serving so they know, hey, next week we're going to be serving. We're not going to be here, but in 2 weeks we'll be back. But we'd love to have you come next week and help us serve our community. From there, again, thank them for coming, thank them for contributing, and then say, glad you were here, hope to have you back next time. And so in the end, all you can do is do these wise things that may help build some trust, but in the end, they have to give that trust to you as well. And I hope that some of these practices will help that happen a bit more naturally, where they feel like they can be known and they can be cared for, they can be vulnerable, and they can trust us with the deepest parts of who they are. So think about those things and continue to practice ways in which you can initiate and welcome new people into the life of your group.